So the next thing I want to talk about is lats and just the variation in terms of how you use your lats across a back squat, a low bar squat and a front squat, okay, and what the difference is there. So first off, I'm going to get Donnie just to do a back squat, okay, so also called a high bar back squat. Here he's keeping his hands as close together as is comfortable for him. He's working on trying to pinch those shoulder blades together, and once he's there, basically he tries to tuck his elbows under the bar slightly and squeeze and engage his lats. So it keeps an awful lot of tension here for when he goes to squat. If you can take the bar back in again. When it comes to low bar squat, depending on the person's flexibility, they may need to go wider. Some people who are very flexible can keep the hands pretty tight together because the objective is the same. It's hands as close as is comfortable for you. For a lot of people, it just means you gotta go wider. The same thing's gonna happen here. Shoulder blades tight together, okay? And then trying to get those elbows under the bar and engage the lats. Because there's more of a forward incline when it comes to a low bar back squat, when people tend to squat, you usually notice that the elbows begin to come really under the bar a lot further as they begin to squat in terms of trying to keep those lats on, okay? The final thing that we'll look at is a front squat. So if you then just rack the bar for me, you can just do it from the other way. It's okay, you can still face that way, it's okay. So if you then just get into a cross grip or a normal grip position, in here, the elbows stay high in the front squat, but Donnie's still trying to squeeze and engage his lats. So he's still pulling the shoulders away from the ears, but pulling the elbows up, which is gonna keep tension. Remember, as I discussed in the body weight squat video, the lats a lot of times work like the abdominals for your back. That's what's gonna keep you upright. And if all you're focusing on is lifting the elbows up without engaging the lats, as that load gets heavy, you're probably gonna cave him right. Finally, let's cover just the slight variation in the high bar back squat, or the back squat, the low bar back squat, and the front squat in terms of foot angle. So in the video I did about body weight squat, I talked about how hip range of motion will affect foot angle and foot stance. This does change a wee bit when it comes to those three barbell squat variations. So if we go for just an ordinary high bar back squat or back squat, okay, let's just start there. The points that I covered in the body weight squat video are pretty much going to carry over to here. Depending on internal, external rotation at the hips, that's what you're going to see in terms of what's more favorable for that person to take a high bar squat stance, okay? So it's going to be pretty much identical to the body weight. Just go for a couple of reps just to show. Okay, Donnie's really focusing on trying to keep those feet stable, keep an arch in his foot, okay? And make sure that those knees track over the feet. If you just rack it again. The next thing we'll go for is low bar squat variation. Again, this isn't going to carry over for everybody. Some people will take the exact same stance as they will do for a high bar squat or body weight squat, but a lot of the times, because of the nature of where the bar sits, it will be a slightly wider stance, and because it's more hip dominant, people will also tend to turn their feet out a wee bit more as they squat. So you'll get a wider stance with slightly more toe angle, and that's just because, again, where the bar sits and the fact that it usually becomes a bit more of a hip dominant squat. Okay, man, perfect. And then just rack it and we'll go for front squat. And the final aspect we'll talk about when it comes to your front squat is going to be the fact that it's a wee bit more knee dominant. So in this one, people will sometimes turn their feet out a wee bit more in terms of gaining a wee bit more range. Or helping them stay a bit more upright, okay? If those knees go out to the side and go laterally, that tends to help that person stay more upright than if you've got a closer stance with feet pointing forward, where when those knees drive forward, the person has to then sit back further to accommodate that range of motion. So turning the feet out, allowing the knees to go out to the side, will help that person, say you, or in instant Donnie, stay more upright when he squats. Perfect. Nice one. So these are the variations you're going to see when it comes to those three main squat patterns or squat variations.